it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to 8 weeks out from Wasatch Warrior. I am about to make dinner, and so I figured I would just talk to you guys about my check-in and anything that's changed this week for my protocols, and I don't know, just chat with you about what I'm making for dinner. So if you're joining me from somewhere where it's morning, good morning. Make yourself a latte and come with me on this food journey. What I have right now is some sweet potato. I'm not eating this tonight, but my husband and I like to eat these at random times throughout the week, so I am going to bake them. And I can actually walk away because I have a mic on, so that's kind of fun. But these sweet potatoes are going in the oven for 45 minutes on 425 degrees. And because they're so small, I am not going to poke holes in them like I normally would because I think they're gonna bake pretty fast. But they're going in for 20 minutes first, and then I have to switch the rack that they're on. And this is just gonna be like a really free-form conversation because it's easy to edit, and this is supposed to be like a real reflection of what it's like in a prep. I think sometimes doing like fun ideas for videos is really cool and exciting, but if I'm being completely transparent, I am in a PhD program right now, and I don't really have the mental bandwidth to sit here and try to think of a creative way to talk to you about my food when I could just as easily, or more easily, talk to you while I make it. So that's what we're gonna do. Tonight, I was going to have sweet potato, but I got hungry before the oven preheated, and so I switched around my dinner meal, and instead of doing sweet potato, I just reduced the amount of sweet potato and I ate a no-cal bar instead. And I also cut down some of the protein that I would have added to a bowl with rice and stuff because I was hungry. If you have never heard of no-cal bars before, they are these plant-based vegan protein bars, and I think the macros are pretty good. They do have some sugar alcohols in here, but they don't bother my stomach at all. And I've been really liking this salted caramel flavor lately. But the dipped bars are 1000% better than their regular bars. And I would say this salted caramel flavor, the dipped donut flavor, and I think the peanut butter cup, top 3 favorites. So now what I'm gonna do is prep some tofu to go in the air fryer. That is my favorite way. I was gonna say the best way, but putting tofu in the air fryer is my favorite way of preparing it because it gets a little bit crispy on the outside and it stays soft on the inside, which is optimal. And then after my tofu, I am going to put some rice in a bowl with some spinach and peanut sauce and ginger. So I'll show you the finished product when I'm done, but I'll go ahead and talk to you about my prep updates. So I guess I'll start by telling you all what my schedule is for these check-ins. I check in every single Monday, and I wake up, I use the restroom, And then I weigh myself and I take my waist, hip, and left thigh circumferences, and I put those in the app that my coach has us use. It's called Trainer Eyes. But Fit Body Fusion, the team that I'm on, they have their own like interface. So I go into that app and I put the weight and all of my circumference measurements in there. And then I usually will then go downstairs and take my pictures. And the pictures that I have to take are my front pose, my model pose, and my back pose. And there's like this really cool place on the app where you just upload all of those pictures individually, and it's super easy. I think their check-in process on my team is the best. It's just so simple to follow. So I'll do all of those things first thing in the morning. And my like posing suit and my heels and my light that I use to take my pictures are all downstairs. So I'll usually I'm giving you guys like the whole spiel. I usually brush my teeth and I do all of that stuff in my bathroom before I come downstairs. That way I can make my latte and soak my oats, because I don't like overnight oats. I make them fresh every time. And I'll start my breakfast, I'll make my latte, take my check-in pictures, and then I'll finish like getting ready for the day. And then along with my check-in like measurements and everything and my pictures, I'll usually take the first, like 10 or 15 minutes of my morning, and I'll submit the answers to the check-in questions that my coach has me answer. And it's so that she can get a gauge on how my body is responding, and that's how I perceive that my body is responding, and they call it biofeedback. So she'll ask me how I slept, how my energy's been, how my strength has been, how I slept, and the average time that I slept. And she'll ask me about my like average steps for the week to make sure that I'm hitting those. And there's just like a bunch of questions in there. She asked me if I've, stuck to my plan, and she asked me if I have any deviations to the plan. So it's pretty thorough. I think the more detailed her questions have gotten over the last year and a half that I've been with her, it's definitely helped me be more specific with her on what I'm actually experiencing. Because your coach needs more detail than just, I feel great today. Because feeling great that day doesn't really indicate anything about how your body's responding to your food, or if you had a stressful week. Because if you had stress in your life, if you haven't been sleeping, and if you are about to start your period or something, all of those things influence your weight and where you're holding inflammation. So the more detailed response that I can give my coach, the better able she is to program accordingly. And that also indicates to her whether or not she needs to make changes. So I try my best to be as thorough and specific as possible. And that's pretty much it for my check-ins. This week, the updates for me were keep doing what I'm doing. I had another 2-pound weight drop. There's been two 2-pound weight drops consecutively in the last 2 weeks. So she's keeping my cardio the same and my food the same. Right now, my cardio is at 4 times 30 minutes, and it's just incline walking on the treadmill. And then I'm training 5 days a week. There's a yoga day in there. And then for food, my calories are like right around 2,000. And my macros have dropped quite a lot since I started prep. I think I started actual prep at like 2750 for calories. And we're down at 2,000 something now, which I do feel it some days, and some days I don't. That also is something I tell her in the app. If I'm having an off week with my appetite, I'll let her know. But I think things are starting to cruise along. I'm really excited. I think it's been reassuring that my body's responding to the protocols that she is giving me and the changes that she's made, because it's been pretty slow going. I think I talked about this on my Instagram story, but I wanted to share it here too, because that's the whole point of this vlog series, is so I can document my prep. But my body has been very slow, in my opinion, to respond to the changes that my coach has made. And it's been a little bit hard to stay out of my head in the negative space because of that. And I didn't realize this when I went to the emergency room for abdominal pain 3 weeks ago, but I had a cyst that was like 5 centimeters, and it was causing the blood supply to my fallopian tube to cut off. And I ended up having to go into emergency surgery after thinking that I just had some form of food poisoning. So that was pretty traumatic. But I am fairly certain that the reason my body was slow to respond to the changes that my coach was making had a lot to do with the fact that I had a piece of dead tissue in my body and a cyst that was that large. Ever since my surgery, things have been feeling a lot better. Like, I'm not in pain anymore, and the recovery process has been pretty quick. And I was just shocked. Like, I could not have predicted that this would have happened. And I talk a lot on my Instagram page about this prep being different than my first one. And it's different in every single way. I think we all have bumps in the road, but I'm in a new place. I started a new program at school. I started a prep at a place with my body that I have never been to before, because this is the first time that I've like intentionally worked towards a goal of building muscle. And then to have a surgery that serious come along, and also battle with the self-doubt that I've been having at school that has kind of permeated into all other aspects of my life. It's just been a very challenging prep mentally, not necessarily physically, aside from the cyst. But I am feeling proud this week that I've been able to push through that, and it really does say a lot about the trust that I have in my coach, because anytime that I've felt like my confidence in myself was faltering, I've been able to reach out to her and have a conversation, and I really have needed the reassurance from her. So it's been nice to help cultivate a trusting relationship with her, and I'm glad that I didn't just start with her, because I think it would have been a lot harder. I don't know. This is a testament to get a coach that you trust, and someone that you can talk to, and someone you can lean on when you need help, and someone that you can bounce ideas off of if something's not working and you want to try something new. Because in my experience, opening that door to communicate is a lot more beneficial for both people involved than if you were to just say, oh, well, this shit isn't working, I'll just find a new coach. And with that, I am going to start my air fryer, and I'll see you when the tofu's done. I lied. I don't think that the air fryer is that loud, and if it is, this mic is pretty good. If you can hear it, my apologies. But like I said, this is very in the real life situation, so we're just gonna move along. I just started the water kettle to heat up water, because I am going to rehydrate this other plant-based protein source called Texture Vegetable Protein. It's just literal soy. It's dried soy that doesn't have any fat, and it's nice on days where my fats are a little bit lower, or I use them earlier in the day, because this is straight carbs and protein, and I don't have to worry about using up my fats for a protein, which is something that I think I've noticed is a challenge for some people who still eat animal products, because all animal meats have fat, unless you buy like the 99% turkey, but that just doesn't sound appetizing to me because it sounds dry, like very dry. And I guess TVP is dry too, but in a different way. Anyway, the sauce of choice for me is peanut sauce. I really like the Wutcheries brand that I can buy at Whole Foods. This stuff is like crack, and I need some of that in my life sometimes. The other things that I will be adding to my dinner are the best seasoning ever. You can argue with me in the comments, but I'm gonna argue back that you're lying, because this is the best seasoning mix I have ever had in my life. It's everything bagel seasoning. I will say, this one's from Costco. The one from Trader Joe's is a lot better because it has less salt that accumulates on the bottom. And then I'm gonna add a few grams of nutritional yeast, and I'm gonna just rip up some spinach leaves and throw that in there, and that'll be my dinner.
I'll take the bright zone. And alright, yeah. Whatever it takes us, so yeah.
I think I'm gonna order my photo package or my video package for stage day, because for show day. Who am I? I think I'm gonna order my video package for show day because the producer of the videos is doing like a promo for money off of the video package. Sorry. And I want to take advantage of that because the videos are super high quality and they're also pretty expensive. And I confirmed with my coach that I should buy this package while it's on sale because he does a great job. And she thinks I'm going to be ready for my show. So I guess that's a new development, because she told me originally not to buy anything for my show day because she wasn't sure really if I was going to be ready until like 4 weeks out, is kind of like her safety time frame. And that goes beyond my knowledge in the sport. I think that goes on how I look to her. And I just trust her on that because I don't actually know what to look for. I know how I feel, and every week I am getting leaner, but she knows the difference between just being lean and being ready for my show day, because they don't call it peak week for no reason. I keep looking over my left shoulder because I have everything loaded in my FitnessPal. I talked about this in my Q&A vlog, but I always pre-plan my meals the night before. Most of the time I'll do it while I'm eating dinner. That way when I'm finished eating dinner, I can just stay in the kitchen and prep my meals for the following day. I think that when you're in this sport of bodybuilding, there has to be some layer of planning, because I mean, unless you don't have a job or anything, I don't know. I think it takes more time in the morning for me to put together my meals than it does the night before, because I can just throw my dry oats in a container, throw my protein powder in a container, and prep my lunch meal, because I usually always try to be at home for my dinners. And that way I'm not sitting at school in my office starving because I didn't plan my day and I didn't bring my food, because that's not fun for anyone.
To get high. I chase the devil.
how people who film vlogs regularly film a day in the life, because to me it just feels really chaotic and impossible to film what I do in a day. I guess it wouldn't be complicated if I just brought you to the gym and then sat you in my office for a while, but I don't know. I don't know if I will ever be that kind of YouTuber, or even if I am one. I'm trying to be one. But I'm gonna just show you guys the rest of my dinner. I have 25 grams of spinach in a bowl, and I'm about to add some jasmine rice and my tofu that just finished air frying. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the air fryer. It's beautiful, it's crisp, it's lovely to eat. And then I think I'm just gonna eat. Let me know what you all think about this make dinner with me video. We're just gonna call everything do this with me. Do X thing with Chelsea. Let me know what you think of this though, because I think it's kind of fun to talk to you about my dinner and what I'm doing, because it kind of feels like I'm on the phone, which is normally how I make my dinners, is just I'll call a friend and have a conversation about my day or whatever, ask them about their day. Most of the time they ask me questions about how school's going and how bodybuilding's going, because those two things are pretty much my life, aside from having a husband, which he's doing well, in case you're wondering. I think that these videos will be a lot more fun to film once I have some like questions to answer and stuff like that, because I can sit here and blab to you all night, but I don't think that that will be fun for very many people to watch. So this is a great opportunity for you to comment any questions that you have down below, whether it's about being plant-based and bodybuilding, or how I train, how I found out about bodybuilding. I don't know. I'm giving you ideas to ask me. I'm not going to talk about them right now because that would defeat the purpose of me asking you to ask me questions. So if any of these questions that I'm asking you to ask me have piqued your interest, let me know. That was a mouthful. I think the only other thing I wanted to say before I get off of this video segment, I don't even know what to call it. I'm just rambling at this point.
I take the brakes off. Then alright. Who never takes us? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who to get high? Who I forget my name. Oh, 'cause it's so insane. Cocaine, yeah. Oh, I forget my name. Oh, I forget my name. 'Cause it's so insane. Cocaine, yeah. Oh, I forget my name. See, I drink the venom to release the pain.
You just saw the finished product of my meal. The only thing I think I forgot to tell you is in here is a little bit of shredded ginger by the Ginger People. And honestly, I have been having this meal every single night for like the last 2 weeks. and it just brings me joy. There's something about peanut sauce and ginger that just makes me happy. And I love it. I think now I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna feed my dog dinner because she is looking at me like she hasn't eaten in 3 weeks. And I'm gonna wait for my sweet potatoes to cook. And I'm trying to think if there's something else that I want to throw into this vlog. If I think of anything, I'll throw it in after this clip. But if not, and you clicked on this video and you made it all the way to this moment of the video, thank you for being here. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and comment down below any questions that you have for me. And we are 8 weeks out from Wasatch Warrior. I'm really happy with how things are going, and I am excited to take you along next week. And who knows? Who knows what the next week will bring, because it's only Tuesday. I'll see you again soon.
I'll suffocate.